guys, welcome back to Dawn Investments. Today's just gonna be a quick Sunday due diligence on a couple of stocks that was called out in our Discord and private messages in our little group chats, and some of the stocks I found on my own. These are potential plays for the week and mostly tomorrow. But as you guys may know, we call out most of our big movers during the day and pre-market. So check out the group chat uh, for those. Well, getting right into it, the first thing I want to get into is AMD. The stock that many of you guys know, it had its big drop because of earned news and some earnings, a bad earnings report. And it's climbing back up. It's bounced off this support right here. It's climbing back up. It broke two EMA lines, and it's has a 3% potential to its next resistance and about 20 to its previous price level. So that's a big margin for profit, especially if you get in now. On its 1 day chart, it has been moving well. It's climbing up like this, as you guys can see. Looking at its 10 day, it hit the bottom here, and now it consolidated for a couple days, and it's going up. It had the EMA crossover, and it's going up. So this is definitely something I would pay attention to. Um, but always pay attention to news, and because anytime this thing can climb back down. So if you do get in, make sure you set a reasonable stop loss and things of that nature. The next stock I want to get into is RRX. I'm looking at this stock because it is at the bottom. It hit a support here around 74. It's climbing back, and if you look at its 180-day chart, it has a huge margin right here to scale back up towards. So I would say if it breaks $1, then you should pay attention to it. And if it breaks $1.10, it's definitely making its upward move. And you should get in for a quick profit. When it's low price like this, uh, it doesn't take much to make around 10 to 20%. So just keep that in mind, because it also doesn't take that much to lose 10 to 20%. So if you're trading this, just make sure you're actively paying attention. This isn't the type of stock that I would hold without paying attention to it. In terms of price points, I would get in definitely around, for me, I would get in around once it breaks an EMA. It already broke a couple, so I would look out for it around 110. And if it is about to break this 200-day EMA, I will get in for around 10 to 20% profit. It looks like it's had its earnings, so you're safe on that regard. So you don't have to worry about it dropping exponentially randomly. The next stock I want to get to is CENX. This is another one that has huge margin for profit. It's at a support. It's about to break an EMA. The EMAs are going to cross over. But make sure before you get into this, you wait for the confirmation that it's scaling back up, because as you can see, the EMAs are also trending down. It's past its earnings, but the EMAs are still trending down. So you would definitely want to wait for it to cross over like it did here, or you just see signs of it moving up. But definitely wait for that confirmation, because if you get in here, it'll be a real sad story if you get in and it breaks the support and it starts downtrending. So just make sure you wait for it to keep going up. Because of that confirmation I'm waiting for, I sent an alert for around 1441 in around 15. Those are just random numbers around the area I wanted. 1441 because it's above the EMA and it's near the resistance of 1450. And I set an alert a little bit above $15, because that's also a resistance that I would like to be aware of. But I would probably get in before 15 if I see upward momentum. HAWK is another one. It had its big drop. It's trending back. Again, with just like the other stocks, make sure you find value in this first. You make sure you wait for that confirmation. The EMAs are starting to trend back up. It looks like a crossover will be coming soon. They're definitely trying to back up, and it should cross this 200 days soon. And from there to its previous point is around 20%. So if there's a crossover and it crosses over this 200-day EMA, you can expect a margin for profit of around 20%. So just keep that in mind when you're trading this. But this, just like the CENX, isn't 1 day movers. So just keep that in mind. This is maybe like a couple weeks to a month or 2 months even. But I want to hold it longer than that. But just keep that in mind. This isn't like a 1 or 2 day swing. So if you're not seeing immediate profits, stay calm and just wait for the stock to move. But always have your stop loss intact. The next stock I want to go over is CATB. This is one that someone in our Discord called out. Wanted to have a. This is when someone in our Discord called out. He wanted a quick analysis of this. For CATB, it definitely has a good chart pattern. It went up, went down, but with this low cap stock, I would be careful, especially stocks that have like crazy spikes like this, because these are pretty volatile and it can keep going down. But on the flip side, it can also spike up, and with that spike up, there is a potential for profit. As you can see here, the EMAs looks like it's beginning to cross over and climb back up. I would definitely watch out for this. As you can see on the 5-minute chart, it looks like it started to make a move back upwards on Friday, making 13% with a nice trend upwards. I will definitely wait for volume. It definitely needs a little bit more volume, but in terms of a stock to hold for the day, I would say this is not a bad choice. I wouldn't hold this for long periods of time. This can be a possible swing depending on how it moves on Monday, but I won't say it's a definite swing. The apparent validity of the stock, I wouldn't say it's a definite swing, but depending on how it moves on Monday, I can give a recommendation then to say if it's a swing or not. But as for right now, I definitely think this is a potential day trade where it can move around 10% in a day if it continues on this upward path. I just keep that in mind as well. Going to you guys. I'm also waiting for a little bit. It's scaling back up, definitely scaling back up. But before I would jump into this, especially because it had some bad news in the past, I would want to see a little bit better signs of it trending upwards. I wouldn't want to trade right here because it has a resistance coming up, so it could fall back down. But if it breaks this resistance, which is a form of support, and it starts to trend back up, is definitely might be something that you can jump into. Looking on this one day, it has good movement. On Friday, it ended around around 2% with a 2% gain, and that's not that bad for this type of stock for a day. And then in a couple of days, it moved around 10 to 13%. So it definitely has potential for profit, and it is definitely something that you may find value in if you keep going, because it has around 20 to 40 something percent. So keep that in mind and be careful, but also be careful. Make sure you get in at a good point, because this can scale back down. Getting into the last stock I wanted to analyze, this is another one that someone asked about. SID is definitely at a low point, but just because something is at a low point doesn't mean, it's a great stock to get into. It also had its earnings report October 31st. So that downtrend from the earnings seems to be done, and it can be scaling back up. But again, with all the other stocks, I will wait for that upward side. This definitely has potential. I sent an alert. I have this alert set for around 260 from the past. The EMAs look like they're starting to cross over, so which is also a good sign. So I would just send an alert for around 260. And if it breaks above this resistance around 280, I would definitely say you could get in around here instead of stop loss around 2% away for around like two, maybe like make it like 4% away around 270. If you get around 280 and have that potential for profit of around 20% to this previous resistance. Well, like most stocks, this is definitely something that I would keep an eye on, but I'm not going to automatically trade. I'm just going to keep it on watch list and hopefully that it breaks the alerts I set. Because if it breaks the alerts, then it's definitely going to call attention. It's definitely going to be put on my radar, and that is something that I will want as a potential day trade or even swing trade. This is something that all these stocks can be looked at as swing trades or day trades depending on how it begins to act and its fundamentals. I don't swing trade lightly because stocks can really do anything overnight and really go shoot down. So before you jump into a swing trade of any of these low cap stocks, just make sure you do your due diligence and make sure you're making the right decision because these stocks can make or break you in terms of your portfolio. So most of the time, I would say just going for the day. But if you find that its fundamentals are strong and it's had good news and you believe in this pattern, swing trade it, especially for these low cap stocks. But just keep that in mind. And that's really it. I wanted to keep the video short. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just message me, let me know, and I'll be sure to help you out or answer any questions I can. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.